Yeah, what's happening? We about to bring that action. Gotta hold it down for my Seattle Kraken. Hey, we going beneath the waves. We going beneath the waves. Get it hype, step onto the ice. Ready for some action. Release the Kraken. Hey, we going beneath the waves. Going beneath the waves.
What is up, everyone, and welcome into the Beneath the Waves podcast, your weekly, yes, once again, weekly recap of all things Seattle hockey and beyond. My name is Matt.
Alex.
I'm Derek.
Just Alex, not I'm just Alex. Screams
Voice
out his
crack.
name.
As always, we have to give a special shout out to Heather, who is continuing to write fantastic articles for the hockey news. With the PWHL season right around the corner, you can look forward to hearing more from her very, very soon. Make sure you check out the link in our show notes today to see all of her work. Very proud of Heather.
Yes, awesome stuff. For us here, it is episode 39 of the BTW pod, and we are so close to the return of regular season Kraken hockey. On today's episode, we'll be recapping the recent preseason games, catch up on all the Kraken news, and we're also going to be making our second annual time capsule predictions for the upcoming season. So, fellas, preseason week 1 is done. Kraken hockey is back. How are we feeling seeing the boys back on the ice?
Fired up. Absolutely fired up. It's felt like a very long time since we've seen anything Kraken related. That's probably because we haven't made the playoffs in the last couple of years, but it's nice to see them back on the ice. It's nice to see them scoring. It's nice seeing them selling. It's been great. By other things that we're going to get into, but I'm pretty happy with seeing the Kraken back on the ice.
I mean, yeah, 100%. You can't be upset when you see the Kraken on the ice. It's not 100% yet because it's not, the actual regular season. Preseason's it's a little different. It's a little mid, in my opinion. But yeah,
It's just a little appetizer.
yeah, exactly. It's not supposed to be a main course, no. But yeah, been really good so far. Can't complain.
Yeah, remember, just all the goals don't count. It's great. Like
Exactly.
Vancouver can score 7 goals, and you're like, none of them count.
They count when we score them, though. You bet your ass they
Exactly.
count when we score them.
Exactly.
Derek, you've experienced one game of being back with the snow shovel in hand. What's the atmosphere like in the arena now?
Oh yeah. Shout out to the Icebreakers, the ice crew for the Seattle Kraken. This is going to be my 4th season doing it. So far only had the one preseason game, but it felt so good. I took last year off. It felt so good to be back in the saddle. As soon as I got out there again, I skated right past Decord with his helmet off. It's just like, oh my gosh, it's just unreal. Yeah, when good things are happening, it's just so fun to be out there because the fans are so loud all the time. The vibes are good, and the vibes are really good for the first preseason game. Yeah, hopefully we'll get some playoff hockey this year, and it'll be really fun.
Oh yeah, looking forward to that and more fun anecdotes of people who shoot your looks or that you drill a shovel into their ankles or whatever. Was it Larson that you had
Only
a
happened a
past
couple
run in with?
times. Yeah, it was Larson and then Tanev by association, but very fun.
All right, so as Alex alluded to, it's not all sunshine and rainbows in Kraken land because one big talking point for this week is that the Kraken have been going through some serious injury woes so far this preseason. The Kraken are currently missing Jared McCann, Brandon Montour, Chandler Stevenson, and Capo Caco, who we learned on the weekend will be out for 6 weeks with a broken hand. This injury came as a result of Edmonton's Bo Aki, I can't remember, Bo Aki slashing his hand on Wednesday. So we can officially add Bo Akey to the Kraken hate list along with Tyler Myers, Cale Makar, and Martin Popsicle. I'm not even going to dignify his name with the proper pronunciation. One silver lining to come out of all this injury news is that Lane Lambert, head coach, said that Canner and Monty should be good to go for opening night. So we hope to see them suited up in about a week. They were out skating today at practice on a separate sheet of ice from the rest of the team. So Monty's no longer on crutches. Canner's out there skating around. We love to see that. Lambert also provided an update saying that Stevie is still listed as day to day, so we'll have to wait and see what happens with that. Are you guys already starting to have your finger hover over the panic button before the season even started? Because this is a pretty not so great hand to be dealt right off the rip.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, first things first, it's good that we're hearing that McCann and Montour are likely to be playing right when the season starts because that would be a pretty brutal 1-2 punch to miss like right at the start of the year. So now it's looking like we're only going to be missing, Kako and Stevenson. The Kako one hurts really bad. Obviously, 6 weeks is crazy, especially with how he was putting things together last year. And I know all four of us, Heather included, were really hyped about what he would be able to do this year. And that it doesn't take away from that. He'll still be able to maybe have a good year this year, but it's just really it's like sour grapes to start the season without being able to see him out there. He's a huge help to the team. Stevenson, missing him obviously is going to be a big deal because of how many minutes he plays per game. But with this team, like we've talked about it ad nauseum, but like with just how it's a team of middle area forwards. The beauty of it kind of is that when you're missing like a specific player, it's not like we're missing McDavid. It's not like we're missing Draisaitl when Stevenson is out or when Kako is out. Like they are helpful, but they're not like it's not like our Achilles heel or anything because we have so much mid depth. But yeah, hopefully everyone's back as soon as possible.
This is what happens when you let certified plugs play with NHL's players. Like it absolutely pisses me off. A buddy who's probably going to be playing fourth line minutes in the AHL decides to hack, one of our best players on the team, and that just pisses me right off. Like this type of injury should not happen. It's a guy who's fighting for a spot that has no absolute chance against a guy who's already solidified himself on the top line of the Kraken. And that's just what it is. And these types of injuries can be completely avoided when you take out the players that have no right to even make an attempt to make the NHL roster because they're not. So it's a huge piss off. In terms of panic button, like just a bunch of like kinks. They're dealing with it. They'll be fine. Part of me always is going to say, well, it's perfect time to start tanking for Gavin McKenna, which has definitely crossed my mind a few times. But overall, these are just very small injuries. Like I'm not too worried about McCann. I'm not worried about Montour. Stevenson will come back eventually. Kako is a dagger. Like that one sucks. But like overall, like when the puck drops in a week from now to start the regular season, I think we're going to be looking at this and being like, yeah, teams together. Kako's out, but I think Mr. Yanni Newman is going to slot very nicely on that top line with Matty Beniers during that time while we wait to see Kako come back. So panic button, no. Gavin McKenna watch on, absolutely.
So I was gonna say a similar thing about Yanni Newman. Like we were all feeling pretty confident that like his time has come. He's gonna be making the shift up, and I think at least for 6 weeks here, he's got to be guaranteed a spot. Especially when we get into the breakdown of the games. There's been 4 preseason games so far, and he's scored 4 goals. So he's really making his statement and putting up the higher Yanni Newman billboard in CPA to get him on that roster. And we do have like I can't remember what the number was that we were ranked at, but like top 10 prospect pools, and there's going to be spots where you can plug guys in. Berkeley Catton is still hanging out with the crew. I have coming up later that I'll break down all the kind of bubble guys. So we do have bodies that we can slot into spots. It's just not the bodies that we maybe hoped. And what, 6 weeks? That's probably what, like 20 games or so. So that's going to be pretty ouchy for not having KK in the line, but well, let's see what happens. There's always a chance someone else can step up and kind of fill that role and have a star-making time. So just get ready for Ty Cartier to have a 70-goal season because that's what's on tap right now. Right, Derek? 100%. Cartier is here. All right, so as I said, we are deep in the preseason. Since I last recorded last week, the Kraken played 3 preseason games. The first game was a 4-1 loss against the Calgary Flames, which is not that fun to watch. The lone Kraken goal came courtesy of Mitchell Stevens, with great assists provided by Mason Marchment, the new guy in town, and Ellie Tolvanen. The goaltending for this game was split between Grew and Matt Murray, with Grew letting in 2 goals, Murray letting in 1, and then 1 being scored on the empty net. One newsworthy item, which we've already talked about, but this was the game that Chandler Stephen went down the tunnel in the second period, and he's still out day to day with some sort of undisclosed injury. So not a lot to write home about this, anyone, but did you catch this game and have any thoughts on this one?
Didn't catch this game. Wasn't in the right area in Canada, apparently geographically. I live in Ontario. So when I tried to attempt to watch the game on the Calgary Flames website or app, it said, no, you cannot. So I ended up just kind of following it through Twitter and all the highlights. Um, to be brutally honest, I'm not too upset that I missed it. It's one of those typical, preseason games. Uh, Definitely still worried about our backup goaltender. That's my big concern on this team
Yeah.
is you cannot play Joey Daccord 82 games, and I don't think Philip Grubauer or Matt Murray can salvage wins for this team this year.
I don't know. I don't know about that as a definitive statement, but I do think that is the concern, and that is the takeaway in a game like this, where it's kind of like Group, doesn't play super well. Murray, I mean, Murray probably plays a little bit better, but in this game, but not super well. Um, but yeah, that's the real concern this year is who's going to back up Joey, who's going to provide that little bit of oomph that we need to, maintain enough wins. I don't know why you're talking about this, Alex, because you should want us to lose as many games as possible for
Yeah, you should want Groove for 82 games.
McKenna.
I'm just saying, like,
But if
when
we
you
are going to make the playoffs or whatever, or try to push for as many points as possible, we are going to need a solid backup. I agree with that.
yeah, you can always play devil's advocate, being like, oh, I want Grubauer to play all 82 games, and I just want us to get massacred. But at the same time, like, you want your team to do well. So like,
I
Joey
do, yeah.
can't Joey can't play every game. So you're hoping we have some level of competent backup goaltending, and I don't think we've seen that yet in preseason, which has me concerned. Like, I think that's the biggest concern that I've literally had this entire offseason is that when they're like, oh yeah, we signed Matt Murray, I was like, why? Like, no offense to Matt Murray. Like, yes, he's a 2-time Stanley Cup winning goaltender, but he played most of last season in the AHL with the Marlies, and Philip Grubauer is riding off into greener pastures. Let's if we're
Yeah,
gonna be
we're
honest. So,
no matter who we go with for backup, we're looking for a bounce back. We're kind of counting on a bounce back.
yeah,
Yeah.
but like, is Grubauer gonna? Can he do better than an 875 save percentage? Like, that's like the fact that I'm pulling that number out is terrifying to think. Like,
I
if
think
he
he
pulls,
can.
but if he pulls out an 880, like, I'd be like, oh, there's progress, but like still not enough. Like, I don't foresee him hitting 900 again. Like, he
And
hasn't
it
hit
is,
900 with the Kraken yet.
yeah.
And
It
then
is so crucial too because goaltending really has become like the strength of the Kraken. Like that's our backbone. That's the only thing that we excel at when Joey's in net is like we have a superstar goalie, but like everything else is mid. But when we don't have Joey, and that's what we got to shore up for sure.
He
and
did have
no,
an 895 in this game. I'll just say I checked real quick.
Oh,
895.
still not
take it,
900.
Alex.
You
Take
round that up to 9.0, and he's
Take that,
getting an A
Alex.
plus.
But my biggest concern is, like, Derek's always mentioned that goaltenders are voodoo. We all love Joey, but like, Joey might not have a good year. And then we
That's
could
true.
literally be looking at this being like, holy hell, we're so bad.
Oh yeah, it's always possible.
You know who would love to see that? That dude from The Athletic. I bet he'd just love that.
Oh, I'm surprised no one mentioned him during the mentioned talk of Stevenson being out because I'm sure
Nope.
he would
Moving along.
think we're
Next, we went
better.
into preseason game 3, where we did in fact see Joey Daccord in what was the team traveling to Edmonton to secure a 4-1 win. So we had Joey play the first 2 periods, and Coco closed out the game. The scoring opened with Jagger Firkus, the Firkus Circus, come to town and knocking in a PP goal, with the assist going to Matty Beniers and Logan Morrison in the final minute of the first period. Logan Morrison earned his second point of the night in the second period with a goal that was assisted by Ben Myers and Oscar Fisker Molgard. OFM if you're nasty. The third period saw the Oilers spoil our shutout hopes, but the Kraken responded with 2 more goals, one from Ben Myers, assisted from Jaden Schwartz and Jordan Eberle, and an empty netter from Oh, I almost did it. And
Oh
an
my
empty netter
gosh.
from Yanni Newman. I will never make that mistake. We'll get lit up. Getting an empty net goal for his third goal of the preseason at the time. Another great showing from several of our mini squids on that score sheet.
Huge dubs for Furcus here. Huge dubs for Furcus. I'm big on Furcus. Yeah, that's all I gotta say about this game.
Goaltending was solid. I think Coco is going to be that number one goaltender down in the AHL. So keep an eye out on him. I'm excited to see what he does with the Firebirds this season. Furcus, yeah, he did get sent down, unfortunately, but I think he's going to have a good year with the Firebirds this year as well. I am hoping he's going to be one of those guys you keep an eye out on for call-ups throughout the year. I think he could be someone, if he finds his groove, could really take advantage of this team, especially depending where we're at the trade deadline. Yeah, Logan Morrison, I've been liking him as well. He's back down with the Firebirds as well, so another guy to look out for. But yeah, some of the young kids are really showing off like what they can do, and and then you got Yanni Newman, who's just an absolute Finnish sniper. Like, oh my lord, so good.
So good. What wasn't quite so good was finally when we got to game 4, which was on Friday. They continued their road trip to Vancouver, and the Kraken dropped the game 4-2. Kraken came out pretty strong in this one with 2 goals being a showcase for the prospects. The first one came courtesy of, once again, Yanni Newman, his 4th of the preseason, with the assist coming from Lukas Dragicevic. So again, another new name that we see popping up through these preseason games. The second saw defenseman Tyson Jugnoth, Jugs, coming through and scored his first of the preseason with assists from Ryan Winterton and Ben Myers. So love that it's all Firebirds names on the score sheet this time. Great momentum builder there. From there, unfortunately, the Canucks were able to score 4 unanswered goals, including 1 in the empty net. Newly acquired goaltender Matt Murray played the entire game and had a save percentage of 917.
Wow, that is a good save percentage. And also, 4 unanswered goals is some Kraken-ish before the Kraken-ish is even starting. So that's crazy. Um, the other thing I want to say is, yeah, Yanni Newman. You guys were just talking about him, but I also remembered that we didn't get to talk about the first game because Matt was hogging the Beneath the Waves show to
Okay, now.
himself.
Sorry I gave you a vacation.
But no, that game and a couple games here, just absolutely unreal. I saw a tweet by Emerald City Hockey saying that he's given the coaching staff basically no choice, that he has a spot, and I just think it's awesome, like pure goal scoring. I think that's going to be great for the Kraken if he can do that consistently in the regular season. That's going to be unreal because we don't really have a lot of guys like that, that are just elite snipers, maybe like Tolvanen and McCann, but like yeah, it's nice to see that.
Yeah, continuing on with Yanni Newman. Last year when he came up to the Chell, he was really good. Like, he was that you know goal scoring menace that would shoot from wherever, and he was also a power play specialist. So he's someone that we've been missing on this team since the inaugural season. If we're being honest, like Jared McCann can do his thing, but like you can't rely on Jared McCann for everything. And I think last year showed that. So if, Yanni Newman can do exactly what he is literally born to do, which is score goals, then boy, oh boy, aren't we in for a treat. That's my one thing that I really liked in this game. Derek also said this was the perfect definition of Kraken-ish stuff going on. When they were winning 2-0, I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. They're going to lose, and at the end of the game, I'm like, told you. But interesting enough, seeing Matt Murray play the entire game, in my opinion, was a statement, because you'd kind of wonder if they're still kind of getting their feel as to who a backup tendy was going to be at this point. I know they've talked about carrying 3 tendies to start the season, but I'm starting to wonder if this is kind of already predetermining if Matt Murray is going to be your bench guy and
This was
Grubauer is going to be in the press box.
this was the fourth game, the fourth preseason game, right?
Yeah,
Isn't it possible that like the fifth, like Grubauer plays the whole thing, and then like
that's
the
what I was
sixth,
gonna say. That's what I
Decord
thought.
plays the whole thing?
I have thought about that, but
Okay.
like you're getting closer to the start of the season where you're going to want your number one ready to go. So there is the
Mm,
possibility that you see Decord play 2 periods and then give whoever the backup's going to be the last period, and then you get the last preseason game. It's all Joey, because you don't want to go
mm,
into that first game of the season with Joey playing like what, 2 games, and hasn't really played that much in the last week. You're going to want him really fresh.
that makes
So
sense.
like,
True.
that's kind of where I was going into this, being
So you
like,
think Joey might end the fifth and
oh,
sixth out?
well, you could easily get Matt Murray to play the first 2 periods in tomorrow's game, or
Oh, so just no more Gru the rest of preseason?
you don't know, but like I don't know, but like we're at that point
All
where like, I could be
right.
totally wrong. Like we could totally see Grubauer in net for the 5th game, but at the same time, playing Matt Murray in the 4th game is kind of a statement in its own right. So I could be very wrong, and people could be listening to this tomorrow or Tuesday and be like, "Huh, He was wrong.
I think that is what's gonna happen. I'll be at the game
Yeah,
tomorrow
but
thinking that.
yeah, so like I could be
Little
completely
Snapchat
wrong.
video as he skates by with his shovel. Be like, look who's on the bench right now.
Hey, Gru, say hi to Kraken Canada, and I just
What
get
up,
like
Matt Murray?
two middle fingers. But no, no, I honestly, that's my take on that. Like Matt Murray playing a full game for game number 4 is a statement for me. So I could be wrong, but I think we have a 1-2 combo right there.
Okay.
My thought that Derek beat me to is we'll get Gru full game tomorrow, Joey full game on Thursday or whatever that is, just to give everyone a full 60 minutes to see how things stack up. But who knows? There's people that get paid significantly more than
Y'all,
we do to make those decisions. So
y'all are probably right. I'm probably wrong, and I'm just gonna accept that and
yeah,
die in
and
the
we will,
hole.
We'll
and we
see.
will,
We'll
we will,
see.
we'll
It's
never
all
let you forget it if you're wrong. So
76 points.
damn it, okay, whatever. Stop reminding us for that. I'm sure you'll just break our spirits with that number later. Following Friday's preseason game, a whole bunch of Kraken prospects were reassigned back down to Coachella Valley. Right now, there are 30 players remaining on the Kraken roster. The current, I just said quote unquote, bubble players, people who we don't really know where they might end up, include Berkeley Catton, Oscar Fisker Molgard, Cale Fleury, John Hayden, Ty Cartier, Ben Myers, Yanni Newman, Ville Otavainen, Mitchell Stevens, and Ryan Winterton. The Kraken have 2 more preseason games remaining, one on Monday against Calgary, so it may or may not have happened by the time that you hear this, and Wednesday against Edmonton. Both of these are home games. And then at the time of this, we are 11 days away from puck drop on opening night. Any final thoughts on either these 2 games coming up or the preseason as a whole?
Very excited for next year when there's less preseason games and more regular season games because preseason games are so antiquated. Like, sure, get everything working, get everything excited, but like everyone's just like, just start the season. Like, you've waited this long, just start the season. So,
And then BS injuries to Kako
oh,
too.
like that's
Yeah,
like let's be serious here. Like, I'd rather have Kako break his wrist in the second regular season game of the year than like some useless preseason game. Like,
exactly.
and that's like, as brutal as that sounds, I'm being drop dead serious. Like, I'd rather have, Kale McCarr double-handed slash like right across Kako's wrist when Kako's on a breakaway than some random plug breaking his wrist. Like, I'm being brutally honest about it.
I mean, personally, I'd rather have nobody break
Oh,
Capo Caco's hand,
100%.
but you do
No,
you. You do you.
I'm saying in this specific.
Yes, I know. I'm just
You
busting your
know,
balls.
yeah, I
Jeez.
know.
NFL fans, what's your favorite touchdown? For me, it's the next one because with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. From first touchdown scorer to anytime TD props or the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. And here's the best part, bet just $5 and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Your team hitting pay dirt pays out to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code THPN, that's code THPN, to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please pay responsibly on behalf of Boot Hills Casino Resort in Kansas. Fees may apply in Illinois. 21 plus, age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive award. Minimum minus 500 odds required. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gambling resources, see dkng.co/audio.
We are now going to move into our main segment for this week. The last thing we're going to discuss today is our second annual BTW Predictions Time Capsule. We did this last year. I think Alex had the most correct picks because of one bogus prediction that happened down the line, but we tweaked things a little bit this year. We swapped out one category for another. We have set up 6 categories that we are going to lock in now and revisit at the end of the season. We asked for some predictions on Twitter over the last week. So once you hear ours too, let us know what you think of them and how your picks maybe compare. The first category is the first goal of the season. So last year, 2024, the first goal of the season was scored by Vince Dunn. Who wants to offer their prediction first? We'll do like a Derek does question one first, then me, and then Alex. We'll do it that kind of way.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Jordan Eberle. Okay. I think this season is potentially Eberle's last dance with the Kraken, or one of them. And he had a rough year last year and started out so hot. And I hope he just starts out just as hot as he did last year and just comes out the gate flying and scores a goal. I do think the first goal will come in the Kraken's third game of the season, though.
Ooh.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. First shift.
Okay,
First shift, Jordan Eberle.
thank God. Oh man, you're gonna gif that moment later. Because I'm second on the Zoom viewer I'm currently looking at. I'm gonna say first of all a shout out to last season's time capsule first goal prediction for being the first instance of the name Chinese Steves being used, and we're gonna keep that going. But I'm not picking him for this season. I am picking the new guy, Mason Marchment, is going to come in and he's going to like just strike things up, get the fire going in his new Kraken uniform, and his icy blue eyes are just going to shoot daggers into the camera when they zoom in on him selling his first goal.
There can only be one who's going to score the first goal for the Seattle Kraken this season, and it's going to be the one and only Finnish sniper Yanni Newman.
That'd be great. You just mic dropping it, or is that your
That's it.
prediction?
That's
I was
it.
gonna
There's
say
nothing
I
else
was
there.
kind of considering that one too. I think that's a good pick.
Okay, that's a good pick. That's like my heart pick, but my brain pick. I want Mush to come out and start things up good. Our second category is the most goals. Oh, sorry,
I
Derek.
just want to say on that note, make sure you get your Sasquatch NHL predictions in for the first goal of the first game,
Yes, true.
and compete with Matt. Go Mason Marchment so you can tie with him because he's defending his title.
You can't see it because
Basically,
it's an audio
it,
medium, but I'm holding up my mini
yeah.
cup that I won
So
last year.
so everybody who is competing just use the same player that Matt is picking every single game,
Yep,
and he
let's get this
can't
guy.
win.
Yeah, there's a 17-way tie at the end of the season.
We
Okay,
have to flip a coin 17 different times and hope for the best.
yeah. Our second category is the most goals. Last season, this award fell to Jaden Schwartz, who scored 26. I am in the hot seat for this first one. I am, again, picking with my heart, hoping this happens. I am going with the one and only Shane Wright. Shane Wright, Shane Wright, Shane Wright. I hope that we have no more baloney shenanigans of him being dumped down on the fourth line and being sent unnecessarily to the press box. I hope that he gets a full 82 games this season, and this is when he gets his star-making performance.
Jared McCann is coming back to reclaim the title of most goals scored by a Seattle Kraken in an NHL season. He's not hitting 30, but he's also going to surpass 40. I'm going 42 goals for Jared McCann.
Okay.
Wow, that's a bold take. I really hope that happens. Shane Wright, I thought about. I love that you picked that, Matt, because Shane Wright's been really efficient. Only getting 14 minutes per game last year and putting up 19 goals. Very efficient. Well, you know who had 14 minutes per game last year and put up 23 goals, second among the Kraken? Ellie Tolvanen. That's who I'm going with for most goals. He's so efficient, playing 14 minutes a night, 23 goals last year. I think he'll get a couple minutes, maybe a minute more per game this year, and crank it up a little bit. Maybe get to 35 or so, and that's where the lead will be.
Okay. And just for comparison's sake, last season, Jared McCann had 22 and Shane Wright had 19. So just to give comparison for where we're heading next season. Alex is in the hot seat now for category three, which is most points, which last season and the season before and the season before and the season before and the season before went to Jared McCann. So does he keep the streak alive at 5 seasons?
Jared McCann is going to keep the streak alive, and he's also going to beat his highest point total in his career with 87 points. He's got a new lot. He's going to have, and I hope this is what happens. He is going to have Shane Wright as his centerman. and that's what I'm hoping for. And we might even see Mr. Yanni Newman on the other wing. Give me that, or give me a Mason Marchment kind of feel. Those assists are going to just start to tally. Not just the goal scoring caliber there, but you're going to get the assists. 87 points for Mr. Jared McCann.
So that's really interesting. If that does end up happening, this will kind of give credence to my pick as well. And it could really be a toss up. But I'm going with Shane Wright for most points. He's so efficient on the goals front. And with the assists, if he is on a line with Newman and McCann, you think Shane Wright's going to be out of the game on that? You think he's not going to be getting secondary assists, primary assists on those goals? That's just going to go back and forth. That could be a powerhouse line now that you say that. But yeah, I think Shane Wright's taken a huge step this year. I almost had him for most goals. I think he'll have a ton more goals this year, and I think he'll maintain his ability to rack up assists as well.
Okay, initially I was gonna do Shane Wright, but in the interest of splitting things up, I am going to go with Mr. Empty Calorie Point Getter, Mr. Secondary Assist, Channy Steves with most points. I am just middle fingers to the sky. He had 51 last season, which had him second on the team. That's what I'm going with. If you could see Jaws on the floor right now through your radios,
He's gonna have to score because I mean he already got so many.
he's not going to have to
assists.
score if he gets secondary assists left, right, and
He's gonna
center.
like, get
He's
like
also gonna be
90
playing-
assists.
He's going to be playing third line center. Like,
Yeah,
no
well,
offense, but
I don't
He's
care.
gonna be passing from the bench.
Like I said, I wanted to pick Shane, but I'm going with a different
I
pick
respect that.
just to
And
mix things
just,
up.
I had Shane already. I'm not copying your goals or whatever. Just
Okay,
put that
whatever.
out there.
Okay, cool. All right, back up to the top. This is the one that stings. The season point total. Last season, I think Heather, Derek, and I were all like mid 90s, and Alex said 76 and hit the nail on the head. So, Derek, you're in the hot seat. What is our point total for this season going to be?
Yeah, I'm gonna add 20 points to that, and I'm gonna go with 96. That's honestly, in all honesty, it's not like a professional prediction, so don't like bet on that or anything. Um, Honestly, I was looking it up, and it's the amount of points Calgary got last year, and it's fringe playoffs where I forgot who it was in the other division, but they made it over Calgary with 96. And so if we have 96 this year, I think there's a good shot we're making the playoffs. That's why I went with that. I think we are making the playoffs this year. Like I said, it's not a professional thing, but any given year, teams can bounce around, bounce back, and we have so many guys where they have like mid to high ceilings and mid to low floors, so like they can be anywhere over all over the place. So hopefully they're really good this year.
Okay, I'm going an improvement on last year, not that substantial, but I'm going to say 88 points. And I think our major downfall, I don't think, I know our major downfall last year was dropping 13 back-to-back games. And if you win even half of those, we get 12 extra points on the board. So that's how my math is mathing, and I'm saying 88. Buckle up, he's shaking his head.
so I have gone back and forth. Do I? My heart is telling me that this team on paper is good, that this team can get over 80 points. Truly, I believe that. There's part of me that is wondering, is this team better than last year, though? Can they get over 76 points? Can they get over the hump? Because there was so much positive outlook at the start of last season, thinking that this team could actually compete for a playoff spot, and they fell short very, very poorly with 76 points. I called that. So I'm kind of sitting here and I have gone back and forth with three numbers, one being lower, one being a little bit higher, and then one being we can make the playoffs. Now, as I've gone back and forth with all three of these, what I've determined is that the Kraken are going to do better than they did last season. Now, when it comes to the points projection, I'm going to go with 81. I think they're not a playoff team. they're going to fall short of a playoff spot. They're going to unfortunately sit perfectly dead even when it comes to the draft. So you're going to miss out on all that top talent because this team and this ownership and the management think that they can compete, where we're going to be holding on for dear life come February because Joey is going to be tearing strips off the NHL. Only for him to run into an absolute brick wall of exhaustion. And that's when we sell all our assets and absolutely tank, missing the playoffs, missing a shot at Gavin McKenna, and staring horribly at 81 points, missing the playoffs by like 7 or 8 points. And it's just a full blown kick to the gonads. And it's sad. It's depressing. And it's Kraken hockey, baby.
Okay. Well, speaking of selling people off, that takes us to our fifth and new category. Last year we did the who would win the most Davy Jones hats, and then the Davy Jones hat was taken away, and that just still seems like such a sore spot. So I took that out, and I'm doing will they stay or will they go? So I have the list of our free agents for this year. Will they still be here on, like, we'll say on July 1st, on like free agent day? Will they still be here? So we can just do a simple yes, no. Jaden Schwartz, I'm gonna say yes.
I'm saying yes as well. Okay, yeah, I'm saying yes.
Trade deadline deal incoming. Jaden Schwartz, you're off the boat.
Do we want to pick that apart at all, Derek, or we want to just keep going?
I mean, he led in goals for us last year. He's only 33. I think we could get like another year or two out of him. So as we have younger guys growing up and we might be losing Eberle next year, I think it might be worth it to have like him as a presence for our youthful team members.
Okay. I'm in the same kind of boat. You just mentioned him, Jordan Eberle. I'm gonna very sadly say no, which hurts my Regina-born heart. But I think he did his time as captain of this team and kind of getting everything rocking and rolling. But I think he's going to want to, if he has 1 or 2 seasons left, try to line himself a spot on like an Edmonton or something again. Because there was those rumblings, what was it, 2 years ago? They were like, will he be here for his next game, which will be game 1000, or will he do it in a new uniform? And I think he's going to want to try to chase a cup somewhere where that might actually be feasible.
I was going to say Connor McDavid will be leaving the Edmonton Oilers and Jordan Eberle will return. That's my take. Jordan Eberle will be gone come July 1st. And it
Oh,
will
okay.
break my heart because I love Jordan Eberle, but I don't think he's either going to be, I don't think they're going to trade him at the trade deadline. He's one of those players where you just don't deal at the deadline unless some stupid deal comes in and you just can't say
Can't
no.
say no.
But this team has been without a captain more years than it has been with a captain since since his team's come into play, basically, because Giordano got traded halfway through the first season. So yeah, you got to keep that leadership for the entire season.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be with us after this season. He's 35. I think it depends on how he recovers from his injury last year. Um, like he came back, it was miraculous, and he was able to contribute. But I mean, off season, a little bit more aging. We'll see how that kind of has settled in. I think this might be, like I said, the one last dance for Ebbs. So it might be like give everything to make the playoffs for him this year, and give him something. Give him a ring on the Kraken. He's such a huge. He's like a one of those like Mount Rushmore guys that we've talked about now that he's been a captain and contributed the way he has. He's just he's OG and he's so dope. So it's gonna suck, and that's one thing that sucks about this season. But I do think he'll be gone after this year.
Yeah, it's gonna sting, and I'll probably cry when it happens. I'll cry into my Ebs jersey, um, but I do think it's a real possibility. Next, we have the new guy. Will it be a short-lived visit for Mason Marchment? Derek, you're first.
I would say, obviously we haven't seen him in regular season, but if he plays the way he did in Dallas, in Seattle, I'd say stay 100%. He's 30 years old. I don't think he'll be crazy expensive. I think we should be able to get a good contract for that guy, and he seems pretty good. So yeah.
I think he's just going to be a short-lived like deadline flip. That's kind of what the rumblings were as soon as he was scooped up with being on his free agent year. But like you said, we haven't seen him yet, so he could just totally pop off, and they're like, "All right, here's the Brinks truck at your new Seattle address." So we'll see what happens.
Trade deadline deal. I just think he's the type of player that once the deadline is coming up, there's going to be too many teams interested in him, and the returns could just be too good not to say no to.
Okay. Next one. I'm gonna say write the check now on this one. Ellie Tolvanen. I very much want him to be re-signed and not just like the little 2 year chunk that he had last time. He's what? He's like 26, I think, 27. How old is he? Let me pull up my
I think he's 27.
Yeah.
yeah, he's 26. So he's still got plenty of years ahead of him. I really thought as soon as Derek said that Marchman was 30 years old, he'd say to ship him off. But Tolvi is still nice and young and in his prime. And if he pops off like Derek's predicting that he will, I hope that we cut him a good check.
Yeah, Tolvanen is like the quintessential hockey player. He's the quintessential NHL player. He's the Finnish Army knife. He does everything correctly, and he's not like a crazy flashy blingy contract either. So he provides like way more value, I think, than his like contract would suggest, especially this year when he pops off, like Matt was alluding to. Um, I think he'll lead in goals, like I said, and yeah, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, he was second in goals last year on only 14 minutes a game. So just let that sit. Like you just got to keep thinking about that.
I would say they're going to extend him. 100% they're going to extend him. 26, I think turning 27 this year or next year. So give him like a 4 or 5 year deal. You know, he's not gonna. I definitely think Tolvanen's the type of guy who would sign for like 4.5, $5 million, like easily with a rising cap. Like it's nothing when you really look at it. So give him a 4 or 5 year deal. I'd be happy with it. He's a solid third, second line guy.
All right. Second last guy, I'm gonna file this one just under indifferent, but I had to include him on the list because he is on the list. Mitchell Stevens, indifferent.
Derek's
Um,
Derek's like who?
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
I
like,
don't know
okay,
much.
talk about when I walk away.
Yeah, I don't know much about this fellow, but I know he's one of the Firebirds that Heather and Alex specialize in. So yeah, I guess Alex will have the take that represents Beneath the Waves today.
Mitchell Stevens. I know he's still fighting for a spot on the team this year, but when you look at the caliber of players we have, he falls short, in my opinion. Like I'd rather have, like Hayden over him. So I feel like Mitchell Stevens is more of a Firebird type player who's going to be waiting in the wings to put him, Firebirds. Waiting for a call up. But yeah, I like if he signs back, it's going to be like I think it could be a two-way contract next time where he has the ability to play with the Firebirds and he's going to be more of an AHL player opposed to like an NHL player. Like I think that's kind of what we're seeing with him. He has the pedigree to play at the NHL level, but like with who the Kraken have coming up in the forward, like in their prospect pool for forwards, I don't see Mitchell Stevens being a long-term Kraken.
Yeah. I think he's going to be like what we said before, like a career AHLer. And nothing wrong with that. Pro hockey's pro hockey, but I don't think he's, other than some guest spots, going to crack that main roster. And now, lastly, for the guy that everyone's going to have their eyes on for this season, I think it's a matter of just when Jamie Alexiak.
I think Jamie Olesiak is going to be dealt kind of like how Will Borgen was dealt. Out of the blue,
Like
very
just middle of
random.
December.
Yeah, just some cold, dark December night. And we're just going to get a notification, and it's going to be like Jamie Olesiak has been traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins for Sidney Crosby, and we're all going to lose our goddamn minds. Like, that's what's going to happen.
This guy, he's the dreaded age of 32, so we all know what to do. But I think this will be his last year on the Kraken. Just as we bump, the youngins up to the league. I think he'll probably get like a 2 to 3 year deal somewhere under the guise of like needing like a big bodied defenseman. Like a team is going to be like Alex has said this before, but a team is going to see that size on a piece of paper and be like, hey, let's get these numbers in a uniform for our team, and not even watch, not even watch the film. But no, Alexiak OG. He's had really good moments. He played really well in the playoffs for us. So he has some history here. But yeah, I do think this will probably be his last year here.
I'm hoping that this season he's like, all right, it's time to ramp up my price tag, and he decides to just like go shift into another gear
Leads the
and just
league in
start
hits.
leads the league in hits, just like sending missiles from the blue line past that. Like he just randomly shows every 4 weeks.
He
But I
is
hope he's like, I gotta make some cash, I gotta stake my claim, and he starts popping off.
he did have the hardest shot that one time in the skills showcase, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
See,
we're just like, when can we see it? And then sure enough, next game he blasted a slap shot by.
He used to work with Montour after practice.
yeah. See, we hope for this, but like anytime he delivers a hit, someone always turns around and goes, "How did Ty Nelson hit me?" Because Ty Nelson's like 5'11".
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's
All right. So we'll wait at various points through the season to see what happens to each of these guys. We're just gonna gloss right
Oh my
on
god.
over that, powering on through.
Oh my god.
it's like 10 times worse when I'm trying to explain it. I'm like, oh, it
Yep.
wasn't as good as I thought it was. Damn
Nope.
it.
Sure wasn't. But maybe you like boosted Ty Nelson's Google Analytics by people looking up who the heck is Ty Nelson.
Hey,
So
That's
Ty,
true.
Ty Nelson is a gem. Let's be serious here.
all right, and then lastly, and maybe our most fun one, we'll see how it shakes out, is our bold off the wall prediction for the season. No one got this one correct last year. I'd say that I was the most correct last year, but 2024, Heather said that Joey would score a goal. Derek said that Gru would be the number 1A undisputed starting goaltender. I said that Andre Burakovsky would play 80 games after all his injury woes, and Alex said that Disco Dan Bylsma would win the Jack Adams Trophy. So, with Berkey playing 79 of 82 games, I was the most correct, but none of us were actually correct. So, what do you have loaded up for this season?
So I made the attempt to say, Disco Dan was going to win the Jack Adams, and instead of winning the Jack Adams, he got fired. So, my prediction wasn't really accurate to say the least. So, we're going to have fun with this one. Let's make it second year in a row. Lane Lambert wins the Jack Adams Award.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Lane Lambert gets fired in hopes that he ends up winning the Jack Adams Trophy.
No, I think he wants. Yeah, he's showing that he wants Lane Lambert fired. I guess.
Not at all. I believe that he's going to win it this year. He's not getting fired. There's no way. This management team does not have the ability to fire another coach. So
Do you
like
think?
he's
Wait.
safe.
Do you think he wins it while the Kraken get 81 points, or do you think that your
No,
points
this is like
prediction will be wrong?
everything is off the like this is how bold this
Okay,
prediction is. Like
gotcha.
Yeah,
everything
we're
is like
either
we
winning the
win
Jack
like
Adams or we're getting 81 points.
yeah,
We're not
like
doing both.
Mutually
like
exclusive
this is
takes.
how crazy this is. Like, yeah, Lane Lambert's coming in and we're like getting like 125 points. Like it's just absolutely chaotic. And it's happening. Like that's my crazy take. You want to see the yin and yang? Like this is my other side of things where like Lambert just goes off the wall.
I like this side of you better.
Yeah.
I swear I'm fun at parties.
Derek, what do you got?
My bold prediction that no one else in the fan base is going to agree with is that the Kraken are making the playoffs this year. You've heard me say it already, but I genuinely believe that. I'm not like, or actually, I might be a crazy person, but like, I'm not lying. I'll see you all there. I'm going to send a tweet off to Dom, and then, yeah, we'll all be eating popcorn and Timbits and getting into the playoffs.
Okay. I like these positivity things. I had loaded up that the Kraken take the wild card one spot, but again, to be different, I'm gonna go to my backup one that um Monty and Schwartzy made it happen last year. I think three different Kraken players will have hat tricks this season.
I like that one. Also, I stole your take again.
Yeah, well, now you,
That's crazy.
that's what I get for what was it 3 weeks ago when Alex and I were Team Canada and just kept team. Oh yeah, but it's the jersey rankings. But yeah, so I'll say that three different Kraken players will score hat tricks. I don't think we've ever had more than two, so I'm hoping that we stretch past that. Um, I'm gonna look at the roster right now and I'll tell you exactly who, so we can come back and clip this moment. It is going to be Jared McCann. He's gonna get one. Shane Wright, 100% is gonna get one. And Capo Caco within 3 games of coming back from his broken hand.
I'm surprised you didn't put Yanni Newman in there.
I thought about it, but Capo Caco, with the restriction of 3 games after coming back from his broken hand, is much more spicy.
I like it.
Okay. So those are our predictions. Let us know what you feverishly agree or disagree with. On Twitter, we had a post that I put up today, or you can just reply beneath this podcast episode post. We want to know, what's your bold predictions? What do you think? What off the wall thing do you think is going to happen this season? I am now going to hit print on this. It'll come out of my printer. I will go and bury it in my backyard, and we will unearth it on, well, I guess probably like July 2nd, because we got to wait until after free agency to see what happens with those. So, best of luck in our quest. Here is to more than 81 points. And I mean, just really, here's to more than 76 points. That's the bar that we're really trying to break this season. And we'll see how this time capsule shakes out. To close things out here, though, I do have 2 quick hits of Kraken news that I wanted to mention. First off, congrats to Kraken prospect Jakob Fibiger on being named the assistant captain of the OHL's Brampton Steelheads. So he's just another baby squid that's getting a letter on his chest, which we love to see. And a big congrats to Joey Decord, who was announced this week as having his jersey retired by the Arizona State Sun Devils on October 3rd. Joey is the first Arizona State player to sign an NHL entry-level contract and first to play in an NHL game. So, regardless of the level, I think it's a pretty big deal to get your jersey up in the rafters. So, good on Joey for that one. And that's going to do it for this week. We are, what now? What did I say before? 11 days at the time of this, so maybe like 9 days by the time this goes up, away from puck drop on the regular season. We are so close that I can taste it, and we are very pumped up to be back into your audio feeds once again on a weekly basis. Derek, as we get out of here, can you let everyone know where they can find more BTW online?
Absolutely, Matt. But first, I have a question for both of you. Okay, I want you
So,
each to tell me what your favorite item is on our store, bit.ly/BTW store. Matt, you
I
go
think
first. Yep.
I think our stickers are pretty slick. I have almost all of our stickers all over my laptop, and you can get them in, I think, clear, glassy, like glossy, or in matte finish. So there's a lot of variety.
Which sticker is your favorite?
Monty Mania, because that was my first dumb Benadryl
Heck yeah.
fueled fever dream.
Featured on the Kraken X Starbucks cup. That was
Featured on me holding here, which you can't see, but I have my Kraken Starbucks cup with our Monty Mania logo on it.
What about you, Alex?
I got to go with the fanny pack. I'm kidding. It's got to go. A good crisp hat. Like, a hat is a hat, but like our logos and like what we have, like you slap that on a hat, slap that on a bucket, like chef's kiss.
What about
I
you,
agree.
Derek?
I'm gonna go with the mush, the Mason Marchment, the mush, the green sweater with the writing just looks so good. It looks like military, and also it's Kraken, so it's awesome. All right, and also I just want to give a big shout out again to Heather doing amazing things.
But Derek, hold
Oh,
on. Where do they find those things?
thank you, Matt.
It's not just show and tell.
Sorry, I forgot we had to shamelessly plug as well. You can find all of that merchandise that we're talking about in such high regard over at bit.ly/BTW store. That's bit.ly/BTW store. I also want to give a huge shout out to Heather. The link is in our show notes to go follow up with what she's been doing, all the great stuff she's been doing. Go follow Heather Nicole with no E on X and the Hockey News W to get updated when she, produces more stuff for all of us to enjoy. and go see more of her work. And keep your eyes on our podcast feed to see when she drops more PWHL episodes, because we got that coming up too. Super exciting. Please drop a follow and a 5-star review on the podcast app of your choice that you're currently listening to this on. And follow us on all socials. It helps us out a ton. I'll quit asking you to do everything. But yeah, just join us everywhere at BTW SEA and have a great rest of your day. See ya.
We going beneath the waves. Going